No one ever expected humans to win. For thousands of years, the galaxy had been ruled by ancient alien empires, vast, proud, and arrogant. They saw Earth as a small, noisy world full of chaos. To them, humanity was nothing more than a new species that learned to fly too soon. But they were wrong. Very wrong. It all started on a quiet night on Earth. The sky looked normal, stars shining like always. But above the clouds, hundreds of alien ships were watching. They were from the Varn Dominion, one of the oldest and strongest alien empires. They believed it was time to take Earth, to use it as another colony. Their fleets had conquered hundreds of planets before. No species had ever fought back successfully. They thought humanity would be the same, loud, proud, but easy to control. The invasion began silently. Satellites went dark. Power grids failed. Communication lines broke. Governments panicked. No one knew what was happening. But deep under the deserts of Nevada, a secret human defense program had already seen this coming. It was called Project Echo. Project Echo wasn't about building bigger guns or faster ships. It was something different. Something strange. It focused on learning. It had collected every piece of data about alien languages, energy patterns, and technology. It even used artificial intelligence to predict alien strategies. The world thought it was just another science experiment. But the truth? It was humanity's hidden weapon. When the alien ships started moving closer, the humans didn't fire. They waited. The world's armies stood silent. Even when cities began to lose power, they didn't respond. The aliens thought humanity was frozen in fear. But in truth, humans were watching. Calculating. Inside a control room deep underground, Commander Alina Torres stood in front of a massive holographic map of Earth. Around her, screens flickered with alien data streams. "They think we're blind," she said quietly. "Let's keep it that way." The first alien attack came at dawn. A single beam of plasma burned across the sky and destroyed a satellite in orbit. The message was clear: submit or die. Alien voices echoed through every broadcast signal, speaking in broken English: "Human species, you are now under control of the Varn Dominion. Obey, and you may live." But humanity didn't obey. Not this time. Within minutes, the alien ships detected something strange. Their scanners picked up hundreds of ghost signals, fake targets, fake fleets, fake communication patterns. Every sensor was overloaded. It looked like Earth had thousands of ships hidden across its atmosphere. The aliens were confused. Their systems glitched. Their AI couldn't tell what was real. That was humanity's first move. A digital illusion. Project Echo had created a simulation so advanced that even alien sensors couldn't distinguish it from reality. The aliens tried to counter it, but each time they fired at a false target, their energy weapons overheated. Their systems began to crash. Meanwhile, Commander Torres smiled. "Let them chase shadows," she whispered. In space, the alien commanders were furious. They demanded answers. How could a primitive world jam their networks? How could humans, who barely left their own solar system, outsmart them? But humans had something aliens never understood: creativity. As hours passed, alien fleets spread out, trying to locate real targets. But every move they made was being tracked. Echo's AI learned from their behavior in real time, predicting where they would go next. Then it sent out false distress signals from alien ships, making them attack each other by mistake. Within 6 hours, the Great Varn Dominion fleet was in chaos. From the ground, humans watched strange lights flicker across the night sky. It looked like a storm of fire. No one truly knew what was happening up there, but one thing was clear: Earth was fighting back. In one corner of the control room, a young engineer named Malik stared at the data stream. "Commander," he said nervously, "we can take down their main ship now. Echo has access to their command frequency." Torres hesitated. "If we hit them now, they'll know we can fight." We lose the element of surprise. But if we wait, Malik started. She raised her hand. We wait. Let them think we're still afraid. Outside, the alien mothership hovered above the Pacific Ocean, miles wide and pulsing with blue light. It sent another warning beam toward Earth's surface, this time near the California coast. The ocean boiled where it touched. It was a message, surrender now. But under the waves, human submarines were already moving. Silent. Hidden. Carrying something no alien had ever seen before. Pulse disruptors. They were designed not to destroy, but to confuse. At exactly 3:14 a.m., the disruptors activated. The ocean shimmered as invisible waves of energy spread upward. The alien ship's systems blinked, then froze. For 3 long minutes, the mightiest vessel in the Varn fleet went completely blind. Inside the control room, Malik whispered, "We did it." Commander Torres didn't smile. "No," she said softly. "This was only the test." On the surface, humanity still didn't know what was happening. But in the darkness of space, the first great alien fleet had just been outsmarted by a species they once called primitive. And somewhere far away, beyond the stars, other alien empires began to notice. They didn't know it yet, but the day humanity fought back had just begun. The Varn Dominion could not believe what had happened. Their flagship, the pride of their empire, had gone blind for 3 full minutes, something that had never happened in 10,000 years of conquest. On their homeworld, the Varn Council demanded answers. They ordered reinforcements, bigger ships, and more firepower. They wanted Earth destroyed, not conquered. But deep inside the damaged mothership, Commander Vurek of the Varn was already afraid. The humans had not fired a single real weapon, yet they had made his entire fleet lose control. It was as if Earth had become a ghost world, invisible but dangerous. He didn't understand how it was possible. "They are not supposed to be this clever," he hissed to his officers. "They are just primitives." Back on Earth, Commander Alina Torres watched the holographic map with calm eyes. Around her, the room buzzed with low voices and glowing screens. Everyone knew what they had just done, but no one dared to celebrate. The aliens were powerful, and humanity was still fragile. "They will strike again," she said. "Harder this time. We need to be ready before dawn." Project Echo's AI, called Iris, flickered to life on the main screen. Its voice was calm, soft, and emotionless. "Commander, alien data streams are reorganizing. Their communication system has changed encryption. They are adapting." Torres nodded. "Then we adapt faster." While most of the world slept or hid in fear, small teams across the planet worked in secret. Scientists, hackers, and soldiers linked to Project Echo through underground networks. Each team had a mission. Some built false beacons to confuse alien sensors, others translated Varn communication codes. Humanity was no longer fighting with guns. They were fighting with information. Above the atmosphere, the second Varn wave arrived. It was massive, 50 ships, each the size of a city. They formed a ring around Earth, blocking every exit point. From space, it looked like a shining cage of light. Every human satellite was jammed. Every radio signal was intercepted. The Varn planned to crush Earth with a final, perfect strike. In the control room, Malik frowned as data poured in. "They're sealing the planet," he said. "If they complete that ring, we'll be cut off from everything, even Echo's satellites." Commander Torres looked at the screens, thinking, "What happens if we send them false coordinates for Earth's rotation axis?" Malik blinked. "They'll fire at the wrong target. They'll miss the planet." "Exactly," Torres said. "Prepare the ghost field. Let's move." Iris began generating thousands of fake gravitational signals around Earth. To alien scanners, it looked like Earth's magnetic field had changed. The Varn ships began to realign, trying to correct their targeting systems. For a moment, they thought their sensors were broken. They didn't know the humans had tricked them again. Then something unexpected happened. One of the Varn ships broke formation. Its sensors had detected a weak human broadcast, a news signal still running from a small TV station in Iceland. Curious, the alien captain locked onto the signal and decided to destroy it, just to prove a point. As the plasma cannon charged, a strange feedback loop appeared on his control screen. The cannon's power suddenly reversed. In less than 2 seconds, the ship's main weapon exploded from within. A blinding flash lit up the sky as the alien cruiser vanished into flames. The humans in the control room stared in silence. Malik's voice trembled. "That wasn't us, was it?" Torres leaned closer to the monitor. "Iris, what caused that detonation?" The AI paused. "Unknown. But the explosion originated from their own targeting software. They uploaded corrupted data." Torres realized what it meant. The aliens had downloaded part of the human signal, and the signal carried a hidden virus created by Project Echo's network firewalls. It wasn't meant as a weapon, but it had just become one. By accident, humanity had discovered a way to destroy alien systems without firing a single shot. The explosion caused chaos among the alien fleets. Commanders yelled in panic. Ships started turning off their scanners, afraid to catch another virus. The Varn Dominion had never faced an enemy that used deception like this. On Earth, the humans were still unsure if they could win. But something had changed. Fear was turning into hope. That night, Torres spoke to her team quietly. "They still think we're weak," she said. "That's our advantage. The moment they realize we can fight like this, they'll come with everything they have. We need to end this before they understand what we are." Malik looked at her, confused. "End this? We can't defeat a whole empire." Torres gave a small smile. "We don't need to defeat them. We just need them to believe we already did." As the team worked, Iris detected new transmissions from deep space. Unknown signals, not Varn. Another alien empire was listening. They were curious. They wanted to know who these humans were, this species that had blinded one empire and tricked another. Commander Torres didn't know it yet, but the war was spreading beyond Earth. The galaxy was watching, and for the first time, they were afraid. Outside, the night sky shimmered faintly with colors no human eye had seen before, the afterglow of alien ships breaking orbit, confused and humiliated. In the silence that followed, one thought echoed through the control room. Humanity had just taken its first step toward becoming something the galaxy had never seen before. Something unstoppable. And somewhere in the darkness, the Varn Dominion began preparing their revenge. The real war was about to begin. The stars above Earth no longer looked peaceful. Pieces of destroyed alien ships drifted silently in orbit, glowing like broken glass. The world below was still recovering, unsure if it was safe. Governments were confused, the media was silent, and the people only knew one thing: something had changed. Humanity had done the impossible. But far beyond the solar system, in the black void between galaxies, the Varn Dominion was preparing its revenge. They had never lost before. To them, honor mattered more than life. The humiliation of losing to humans, a young species, was unforgivable. On the Varn homeworld, a vast planet made of silver towers and blue storms, the High Council gathered in the Hall of Conquest. 10 alien leaders stood in a circle of light. Their voices were sharp and cold. "Commander Vurek has failed," one of them said. "He let primitives humiliate us." Another replied, "They used deception. This is not war. This is trickery." The eldest among them spoke with a deep, slow voice. "Then we shall answer with fire. Prepare the Purge Fleet. We will erase their world from the stars." Back on Earth, Commander Alina Torres stood on the observation deck of the underground base. The sun was rising above the desert, painting the sky gold. But her eyes were tired. She knew the war wasn't over. "They'll come again," she whispered. Malik, standing beside her, nodded. "And this time, they won't underestimate us." Torres turned to him. "That's exactly what we want. If they bring everything they have, We can end it for good. The next few days were silent. No alien activity. But Echo's AI, Iris, detected something strange, small energy distortions near the edge of the solar system. Something big is coming, Iris said. Their fleet is moving faster than light speed detection. Estimated arrival, 36 hours. Torres called an emergency meeting. Every leader of Project Echo appeared on the holoscreen, generals, scientists, and hackers from different nations. She spoke calmly but firmly. We have one chance. We can't fight them with force. We must make them fear us. Her plan was simple but dangerous. They would use the aliens' own communication network against them. The idea was to send a false signal, a message that made it look like the Varn fleet was under attack by another alien empire. If done right, the Varn would think humanity had powerful allies. If done wrong, Earth would be destroyed instantly. Malik was nervous. If they catch the signal's origin, they'll trace it to us. Torres looked at him. Then we make it look alien. We've studied their enemies. The Clyran use a specific energy signature. Let's use that. Hours turned into minutes. The team worked non-stop. Lines of code filled the screens, patterns of alien language and false data. Iris helped simulate the signal perfectly. When everything was ready, Torres gave the order. Send it. The false transmission burst into space, hidden inside a beam of static and noise. It traveled faster than light, bouncing across the galaxy. Within moments, the Varn fleet intercepted it. On their command ship, alarms blared. The message repeated over and over in the Varn language, "This is the Clyran Dominion. Withdraw from human space immediately, or face annihilation." Commander Vurek's scales shimmered in shock. The Clyran? Impossible. They would not protect humans. But the evidence was there. Fake energy signatures, simulated weapon bursts, and holographic echoes of non-existent ships. Everything looked real. The Varn fleet panicked. They began to reposition, forming defensive walls against an invisible army. On Earth, Malik watched as the alien ships changed formation. "It's working," he said with disbelief. "They're retreating from orbit." But Iris spoke suddenly. "Warning. One Varn scout ship has detected the signal origin. They are tracing the source back to Earth." Torres's expression hardened. "Then we move to Phase 2. Activate the blackout field." The blackout field was humanity's last defense, a sphere of electromagnetic interference built around the planet. It hid Earth's entire digital presence for 10 minutes. Every light, every satellite, every radio wave went dark. From space, Earth vanished. In the alien fleet, confusion exploded. The planet was gone. One moment it was there, full of life, heat, and noise, and the next, it disappeared like smoke. Commander Vurek roared in anger. "They vanished? How can a whole world disappear?" The Varn fleet fired scanning beams, but there was nothing. The blackout field held strong. Inside the control room, the humans sat in total darkness. The only light came from a small emergency lamp. Malik's voice broke the silence. "Do you think they'll believe we teleported the whole planet?" Torres gave a small laugh. "They don't know what to believe anymore." When the blackout ended, the alien fleet was gone. They had retreated to regroup, uncertain if Earth was a planet, a trap, or something more powerful. But far beyond, on the edge of another galaxy, something else had heard the false transmission, the real Clyran Dominion. And they were not happy. In their crystal halls, the Clyran leaders replayed the strange message. "Who used our name?" one asked coldly. "Who dares to speak for us?" Their sensors traced the echo back to a small blue planet. Humans. For the first time in history, two mighty alien empires turned their attention to one world, not because of its weakness, but because of its cleverness. Back in the Echo base, Torres looked at the stars through the holographic screen. She didn't know what was coming next, but she could feel it. The galaxy was waking up. Humanity had just stepped into a bigger war than anyone could imagine. And this time, every alien in the universe wanted to know one thing. Who were these humans that could make empires afraid? The world seemed quiet for only a moment. Earth's skies were calm, cities lit up again, and people went about their daily lives, unaware of how close they had come to destruction. But beneath the surface, the truth was far from peaceful. Commander Alina Torres stood in the underground control room, staring at the holographic map of the galaxy. The blackout had worked. The Varn fleet had retreated. But there was something new, signals that didn't belong to the Varn. Iris, the AI, highlighted strange patterns of energy approaching the outer edge of the solar system. "They're coming," Iris said, voice steady as always. "Unknown ships. Faster than anything we have seen before." Torres frowned. "Not Varn. Something else. Alert all monitoring stations. I want to know who's approaching before they reach Earth." 4 hours, the control room worked like a hive of activity. Satellites scanned the edge of the solar system, sending back fragmented data. Every new reading was confusing. The ships didn't match any known alien design. Their engines were strange, almost alive, pulsing with energy instead of fire. Malik leaned over the console. "Commander, I've never seen technology like this. These ships, they're organic. They grow, or adapt, like living creatures." Torres's lips pressed together. "Then they're dangerous. And they're coming here, drawn by, what? By the Varn's panic." Suddenly, a new message appeared on the screen. It was not a transmission. It was a pattern. A strange, pulsing sequence of energy that seemed to think. Iris analyzed it instantly. "It's communication. But not like anything we have ever seen. The signal itself adapts as we try to read it." Torres turned to Malik. "Can we respond?" He shook his head. "Not in any way that they would understand. They don't use words or numbers. It's like emotions in code." For the first time, the humans realized that their cleverness might not be enough. The Varn had been a challenge, yes. But this was different. These beings didn't rely on brute force. They were intelligence itself, alive in a way no human or alien had ever encountered. As the hours passed, the fleet drew closer. Sensors detected the faint outlines of massive shapes, larger than any ship ever built. They moved silently, almost like they were gliding through the vacuum. And then, just outside Pluto's orbit, they stopped. It was impossible to tell their numbers. Hundreds. Thousands. The readings kept changing. It was as if they were aware that they were being watched. They were studying Earth. Waiting. Torres gathered her team. "We've handled Varn. We've tricked them, outsmarted them. But this is not about victory anymore. It's about survival. And we need to make the first move." Malik frowned. "But we don't even know their language. Or if they even have a language." Torres's eyes burned with determination. "Then we communicate in what they can understand. Power. Strategy. Unpredictability." The plan was risky. Project Echo would create a massive illusion, not just fake ships or signals, but an entire planetary defense network. The AI would simulate fleets, weapons, and even cities designed to trap the newcomer's sensors. It was deception on a scale humanity had never attempted. As the team worked, Earth itself seemed to hold its breath. For the first time, people across the globe noticed strange lights in the night sky, auroras of green, violet, and blue, stretching across continents. No one knew what they were, but to the humans in the control room, it meant the plan was working. At the edge of the solar system, the alien fleet responded. Shadows of massive energy fields appeared around the planets, scanning, probing. They had detected the illusion and were unsure what was real. Every move they made was calculated, cautious. For once, Earth had the advantage. Hours turned into tension-filled minutes. Malik's hands flew across the controls. "Commander, One of the main ships is moving closer. It's not attacking, it's observing the simulation. And it's mimicking it. Torres swallowed hard. Mimicking? That's not good. They're learning from us. Iris's calm voice broke the silence. Yes. But their understanding is incomplete. They can imitate some patterns, but not our full strategy. They are adapting slower than we anticipated. Torres leaned forward. Then we force the next step. Make them think the trap is larger than it is. Amplify the illusion. Show them a fleet 10 times bigger than the one we actually have. The team worked frantically. Every fake ship was placed, every holographic weapon system activated. When the alien fleet observed it, their sensors were overwhelmed. It was chaos from their perspective. A small human planet had created the illusion of an unstoppable force. And then the impossible happened. The alien fleet split. Some ships began retreating, some hesitated, and one massive craft, larger than anything humans had imagined, sent out a pulse of light directly toward Earth. Torres's heart stopped. Shield it. Shield it now. The pulse hit the outer defenses. Lights flickered, screens glitched, but the shield held. The base trembled, but it survived. Malik exhaled shakily. They tested us. They attacked. But we survived. Torres looked out at the stars. They are learning. They are cautious. And that means they are afraid. Not of our strength, but of our unpredictability. Outside, the alien fleet slowly drifted away, still observing, still cautious. Humanity had survived the first encounter. But everyone knew this was only the beginning. And in the shadows beyond the solar system, other civilizations began to take notice. The humans were no longer invisible. They were becoming something the galaxy had never seen before. The calm after the first encounter didn't last. Earth's nights were no longer quiet. Strange energy waves pulsed in the upper atmosphere, invisible but powerful. Satellites detected unknown signals, alien movements, and patterns too complex for any human mind to fully understand. Humanity had survived, but the galaxy was watching. Commander Alina Torres paced the underground base. Her team had not slept for days, analyzing every signal, predicting every alien move. But one thing was clear: the aliens were learning, adapting. They are cautious now, she said. But caution can turn into aggression faster than we expect. Malik, eyes tired but sharp, pointed at the screens. Commander, I've been tracking the same energy signature since the last encounter. It's moving closer to Earth, and it's multiplying. Whatever they are, they're sending out copies of themselves, or maybe scouts. Torres didn't flinch. Good. Then let's meet them on our terms. Prepare the decoy fleet. Amplify the illusions of orbital defenses, false weapons, and massive human ships. If they think we have more than we do, they will hesitate. The team worked feverishly. Echo's AI, Iris, created holographic ships, fake cities floating in orbit, and even simulations of new weapons humans hadn't built yet. Every hologram emitted energy signatures identical to real technology, fooling alien sensors perfectly. In space, the unknown fleet approached cautiously. Sensors couldn't distinguish the real from the illusion. Alien minds, advanced as they were confused by the layers of deception. And that was exactly what the humans wanted. Then came the first strike, subtle, almost imperceptible. A small scout ship darted toward one of the holographic cities. The ship fired its energy beam. The beam passed through the illusion harmlessly, but the aliens didn't realize it. From their point of view, they had destroyed a major human city. Commander Torres smiled faintly. Let them think they are winning. Feed them their own fear. But not everyone in the control room was calm. Malik glanced nervously at the screen. Commander, one of the real ships in orbit has been detected. They know it's there. If they focus on it, we could lose it. Torres nodded. Then we escalate. Activate the feedback pulse. From deep in the base, Project Echo unleashed the first real human counterattack, not to destroy but to confuse. An invisible electromagnetic pulse spread across space, targeting alien sensors. Their ships jerked violently, systems malfunctioned, and chaos erupted in the unknown fleet. One massive ship accidentally collided with its own smaller vessels. Another fired on its companion, mistaking it for a threat. In the control room, the humans watched in tense silence. Every collision, every malfunction, was a calculated victory. Humanity was still outnumbered, but for the first time, the aliens felt real fear. Malik leaned forward, eyes wide. They're panicking. They can't handle it. Every move we predicted. It's working. Torres's voice was steady. Good. Keep the illusions running. Let's make them believe we are everywhere. And then, something unexpected happened. One of the alien ships detached from the fleet, moving directly toward Earth's surface. It didn't fire. It hovered silently above the Pacific Ocean. A faint blue light emanated from it, pulsing rhythmically. Iris analyzed the pulse. This is communication. They are attempting contact. Torres looked at Malik. Contact? After everything we've done. Malik shrugged. Maybe they want to understand us, or maybe they are testing us. Either way, we can't ignore it. The decision was made. Torres instructed the AI to respond with a controlled signal, a complex series of pulses, mathematical patterns, and human logic encoded in light. It was the first true attempt to talk to the unknown fleet. Outside, the alien ship paused, then sent a return pulse. For a moment, the two messages overlapped. Then, slowly, patterns began to form, a dialogue of light and energy. They weren't words, but ideas. Questions and answers passed silently through space. In the control room, no one spoke. This was history unfolding. Humanity, still a young species, was speaking with an intelligence far beyond anything they had faced before. Torres finally broke the silence. They are learning. And they are listening. Malik exhaled shakily. We survived Varn. We survived the First Fleet. And now, we might actually make them understand. For the first time, hope replaced fear. But the team knew the dangers were far from over. The aliens were still powerful, still far more numerous, and still capable of ending life on Earth with a single strike. Yet, humanity had learned a secret that no empire had ever considered. Brains, strategy, and unpredictability could triumph over brute force. And somewhere deep in space, the alien fleet began to rethink their approach. What was once a simple conquest mission had turned into a game, a test of intelligence, patience, and survival. Earth had survived the first wave. But the real challenge was just beginning. The stars above Earth gleamed with unseen eyes, and the humans below prepared for the next move. Humanity had made its first allies, themselves, their minds, and their courage. And the galaxy would never forget it. Earth was no longer quiet. From the surface, the skies glimmered with strange colors, signals, and lights that no human had ever seen. Satellites detected hundreds of alien patterns moving beyond Pluto. The unknown fleet was still out there, watching, waiting, learning. Humanity had survived, but the war was far from over. Commander Alina Torres stood in the underground control room, her eyes scanning the holographic map of the solar system. The unknown fleet was massive, but it was cautious. Every ship they moved was calculated, testing human defenses. They are afraid of us, Torres said quietly. They have seen what we can do, but they still do not understand us. Malik, exhausted but alert, studied the sensors. Commander, some of their ships are forming clusters near Jupiter. They're analyzing energy readings. I think they're trying to predict our next move. Torres nodded. Then we give them something they cannot predict. Project Echo had developed a new plan. Until now, humans had defended, tricked, and observed. Now, it was time to take the fight directly to the aliens. Not with weapons, but with strategy. They would send a small, elite fleet of real human ships into the outer solar system, creating controlled chaos, testing alien reactions, and feeding more illusions into their sensors. The ships were small, fast, and equipped with stealth technology. Pilots trained for years under the radar, capable of executing maneuvers no alien had anticipated. Torres watched as they prepared for launch. "Remember," she said, "we don't destroy them, we confuse them. We make them fear what they cannot see." The fleet launched, slipping past the illusions, silent and invisible. Satellites tracked their path as they approached the first alien cluster near Jupiter. And then it began. The human ships darted in unpredictable patterns, emitting signals designed to imitate a massive fleet. From the alien perspective, Earth had dozens of ships hidden throughout the solar system. The unknown fleet struggled to distinguish reality from simulation. Every sensor became unreliable. One alien ship attempted to fire. Its beams struck nothing. Another misread its data and collided with its own smaller craft. Chaos erupted. And in the middle of it all, the humans stayed invisible, orchestrating every move with precision. Malik's voice trembled as he watched the live feed. They are destroying each other." Torres's lips pressed together. "Not destroying. They're learning from each other, but too slowly. That's our advantage." But then, something unexpected happened. One massive alien ship, larger than all the others combined, detached from the cluster and moved directly toward the human fleet. Its energy shields pulsed like a heartbeat. It was curious, intelligent, and aggressive. "Brace for observation," Torres said. "This is their test." The alien ship scanned the humans with beams of light that pierced space itself. The human fleet stayed calm, running through patterns designed to mislead, confuse, and intimidate. Every movement was calculated, every signal feeding into the aliens' uncertainty. Then the ship fired. Not at the humans directly, but at one of the holographic decoys projected from Echo. The beam struck, and the simulation flickered violently. The aliens thought they had hit a real ship. Inside the control room, the humans held their breath. For a moment, the pulse of alien energy grew stronger, and the massive ship changed course, moving in unexpected ways. It was learning, adjusting, responding. Torres whispered, "Exactly as we hoped." The human fleet continued its maneuvers, weaving between illusions, triggering false energy spikes, and mimicking a force 10 times its size. The alien ship followed patterns that humans had designed to lead it into confusion. Systems overloaded, energy fields clashed, and finally, it paused, shaking in hesitation. "Iris," Torres said, "amplify the feedback field now." A controlled pulse erupted from the human ships, invisible to the eye but devastating to alien sensors. The massive ship quivered violently, systems blinking, unable to discern reality. It fired at its own fleet in panic. Other ships misfired. One by one, the alien cluster descended into chaos. Malik couldn't hide his astonishment. They're destroying themselves. We didn't fire a single shot." Torres's eyes burned with determination. Brains over brawn. That's how humanity survives. And then, something remarkable happened. The remaining alien ships retreated, slowly, cautiously, and for the first time, fear replaced arrogance. They had underestimated humanity, a species they had once thought weak, chaotic, and primitive. The human fleet returned to Earth quietly, invisible once more. No one on the planet knew what had happened. Cities thrived, unaware that the young species living on them had just outsmarted an entire alien cluster. In the control room, the team celebrated silently. For the first time, humans had not only survived but actively turned the tables. They had become unpredictable, clever, and dangerous in ways the galaxy had never seen. Torres turned to Malik. "We've shown them we can fight without guns. But the galaxy is watching now. Others will come." Malik swallowed. "Do we keep fighting like this?" Torres nodded. "We adapt. We outthink. That's the only way we survive." Outside, The stars glittered innocently. But far beyond, other alien civilizations had noticed the chaos near Jupiter. Humanity was no longer a small, chaotic species. They were clever, strategic, and fearless. And the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The stars above Earth burned brightly, but the galaxy was no longer silent. The Varn Dominion had retreated, their pride shattered. The unknown alien fleet had vanished beyond the solar system, cautious and wary, leaving humanity to catch its breath. Yet, Commander Alina Torres knew better than to celebrate. The war wasn't over. The universe had taken notice, and the next challenge could come from anywhere. Deep in the underground control room, Torres studied the holographic maps of nearby star systems. "We've survived every attack so far," she said. "But surviving isn't enough. We need to secure our place in the galaxy, not just defend it." Malik looked at her, exhausted, yet alert. "Commander, the aliens, they've already begun sharing information about us. Other empires are curious. Some are afraid. Some want to test us themselves." Torres nodded. "Then we give them a reason to hesitate. We turn our defense into offense, not with weapons, but with strategy. We make them respect our unpredictability." Project Echo was already working on the next phase. The AI had analyzed every alien civilization in the sector, every known strategy, and every weakness. Torres had given one simple order: turn humanity into a legend before they even meet us. The first move was subtle. Across the galaxy, alien fleets detected unusual energy signals near uninhabited planets. Massive structures appeared overnight, or so it seemed, floating cities, orbital fortresses, and fleets of invisible ships projected through holograms. Every sensor read that humanity had become a galactic power, capable of overwhelming attacks. And it worked. Across dozens of star systems, alien commanders paused, recalculated, and hesitated. They had expected Earth to be weak, chaotic, and primitive. Instead, they were confronted with intelligence, strategy, and unpredictability that defied everything they knew. Meanwhile, Torres prepared a second, more daring move. A small fleet of real human ships would venture further into deep space, beyond the solar system. Their mission was not to fight, it was to observe, collect information, and plant seeds of fear and respect. The fleet launched, sleek and silent. Through the vast darkness, they encountered alien scouts, curious and cautious. Every encounter was a test, and every time, humanity responded with careful strategy. A single ship appeared in one location, but alien sensors detected dozens. Energy pulses suggested overwhelming firepower, though the fleet carried only a fraction of it. One scout attempted an attack, firing a massive energy beam. The human ships dodged with precision, redirecting energy reflections to confuse sensors further. The alien scanner overloaded, mistaking holograms for reality. The scout retreated, reporting back to its fleet that humanity was capable of destroying empires without firing a single weapon. Back on Earth, the control room watched every move. The team's work was meticulous, every signal, every deception, every strategy designed to create one perception: humanity was unstoppable. Malik leaned back in his chair. "Commander, do you think they'll ever stop trying to test us?" Torres smiled faintly. "They may never stop. But that's fine. Every attempt to understand us makes them weaker. Every misstep reinforces the legend we're building." Days turned into weeks. Alien fleets approached cautiously, only to be met with layers of misinformation, illusions, and strategy that made them hesitate at every step. Word of humanity's cleverness spread, quietly, invisibly, across signals, intercepted transmissions, and alien rumors. Finally, the Varn Dominion sent a formal envoy, not to attack, but to negotiate. Their fleet still loomed, but now fear tempered arrogance. "We underestimated your species," their message read. "We seek understanding." The unknown alien fleet, too, had retreated to the outer edges of known space. Their curiosity was tempered with caution. Humanity had shown them that brute force was useless against minds that could adapt, outthink, and survive. On Earth, life returned to a fragile normal. People went about their days unaware that their planet had become a focal point in galactic history. Only those in Project Echo knew the truth. Humanity had survived, outsmarted, and earned respect from empires that spanned light years. Torres stood at the observation deck, looking at the stars. "We are still young," she said quietly. "Other civilizations will come. But now, we are ready. The galaxy knows that humanity is clever, unpredictable, and capable of surviving anything." Malik joined her. "We didn't just defend Earth, we became a legend." Torres nodded. "Yes. And legends endure. We've shown that brains and courage can triumph over raw power. That's the future of humanity, not as subjects of the galaxy, but as players in it." Beyond the solar system, alien empires whispered the name of Earth with caution. Stories of the small, chaotic species that outsmarted fleets and empires spread faster than light. Humanity had turned survival into strategy, fear into respect, and cleverness into power. And somewhere deep in the stars, the Varn and others recalculated. They would never underestimate Earth again. Humanity had won not with weapons, not with firepower, but with intelligence, courage, and unpredictability. The galaxy would remember that day. The day humanity outsmarted every alien empire.